Stephen A., what are you doing except getting on our nerves? You're doing too much to carve out, I guess, your lane here. You already had a lane. I don't think there's other people who belonged in that lane. It was just you. You had a good thing, I guess, going if you're interested in that. But now you're just doing things that seem a bit obvious and they're very off-putting. Let's give you the update. Stephen A. Smith doubling down on Jasmine Crockett critique. We do need to recap first on what caused the uproar. Listen.
How Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself. I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work. Work is saying, that's the man in power. I know what his agenda is. I'm not exactly in a position to stop him since the Republicans have the Senate and the House. But maybe if I'm willing to work with this man, I might get something out of it for my constituency. Because like Joe Manchin said, he's there to represent, or was there for 15 years to represent, the people of West Virginia. She's supposed to be there to represent the people of Texas.
Stephen A. He's now a political operative. He's a political operative who understands how to get things done in Washington. Really? And the first part of his pushback, you don't tell somebody off and bash somebody every day. Says the guy who bashed Bronny James every day. What would Bronny James say if he heard that? You bashed him every day. His dad had to say, you want some of this? You bash Bronny every single second, Stephen A., because that's your work, okay? And your work, I think sports is a metaphor for life. I've been an NBA sideline reporter, an NFL sideline reporter. I broke a lot of stories, okay? I got to tell you, some of these sports guys are very lazy. Broke a lot of stories, okay? It's not just X's and O's. But when you want to talk about implications and fallout for society, her work, your work, and oh yeah, Bronny James, you bashed him every day, and this is what you're going to say about Jazz? So there was some blowback, yeah, and maybe you agree or maybe you didn't, but we'll give you Mr. Smith's response.
I have nothing but respect for her. I just disagree on what she's making headlines for because I think it's counterproductive to the ultimate goal. But yet, here we are, and the word disrespect comes in, and people try to engage with words, like disrespect and implying misogyny and all of this other nonsense. Stop it. Stop it. Can we be grown-ups and deal with what the real issue is involving what I said? Willie D, Roland Martin, Bakari Sellers, and Angela Rye. Crockett's performance in the House, according to research, and her success in delivering wins for her district is quote unquote mixed. She's active, ambitious, and visible, exceptional when it comes to fundraising. But many of her major efforts are still works in progress, bills stuck in committees, introduced but have stalled, etc., according to Congress.gov. The challenge for her was cultivating relationships in Congress. And what does that mean? Potentially going across the aisle when you don't want to.
He doesn't like being called disrespectful or what he's saying about Jasmine Crockett being looked at as disrespectful. It was damn disrespectful. Okay, I'm sorry. There's some things that are damn disrespectful. It doesn't have anything to do with politics. If you don't like her policy, stick to policy. But that's not what he was commenting on, in my view. TV personality Stephen A. Smith did not back down from his criticisms of U.S. Representative Jasmine Crockett amid widespread outrage from leaders and figures in the Black community. He named them, Roland Martin and such. Yeah. During a recent episode of The Straight Shooter with Stephen A. podcast, Smith pushed back against his critics, naming many of them, as we said, Roland Martin, activist Tamika Mallory, Angela Rye, she'll clap back, Bakari Sellers, hip hop star and podcaster Willie D. He had special guns blazing for Willie D. Also, comedian and radio host DL Hughley, who is another real one. He's I'd love to see a debate between those two. Except DL is he's funny, but he's more interested in straight talk coming for you. Okay, these days, I'd love to see that. You want me canceled because I asked a question, said the longtime sportscaster turned political commentator. Because of that, you want me canceled. You want to rally folks up to go against me. Smith refuted claims that he was disrespecting Crockett by criticizing her public attacks on President Donald Trump rather than working with him to deliver for her constituents in Texas's 30th congressional district. Yeah, because that'll work. Why don't you just be respectful and talk to him? I'm looking around. Do you see any other Black women that he listens to? Homie is big time disrespectful. And by homie, I mean the one who's currently the occupant of 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. You are a Black woman who is speaking your mind. I spoke my mind about whether or not that strategy is going to work for her and going to work for the Democrats in pursuit of regaining power during the midterm elections and hopefully the presidency 2028. Do you really hope that? I don't know if he really hopes that the Democrats regain the presidency. I don't even know what his politics actually are, but I know it's good for business right now. Stephen A. He explained, I'm not a Republican. Oh, he's telling us what our best politics are. And I don't have a desire to vote for any of the Republican candidates that I see. TV personality emphasized that he had nothing but respect for Crockett, whom he praised as highly intelligent and accomplished. Right there, I find it disrespectful. Maybe I'm being overly sensitive as a Black woman, but don't sit up here talking about how I'm highly, intelligent and accomplished. Because with some other people, perhaps if it's a white man, Stephen A., it's just assumed. It's just assumed. So don't try to sprinkle some fake, what's that, stevia people sprinkle on their cereal. Just use the real sugar. The Grio filling in some of the reporting here. Smith criticized Crockett's calling Abbott Governor Hot Wheels and Trump a piece of, will you flush it? Okay. And that's what she called him. And a white supremacist, too. She threw that in. He did not mention incendiary comments made by President Trump, like calling the Democrats the party of Satan, or even personal attacks he made on Crockett, like repeatedly calling her low IQ. He said it. And we shouldn't be getting into who started it. You started it. So when they go low, Michelle Obama said, we go high, right? And then Cardi B said, I take them all the way to hell or something. There's a number of people who said it. I like the way she said it. This all indicates there is no evidence that Trump would even be interested in working with Crockett, folks. Not one iota, okay? He's not interested in talking to her. Meanwhile, Smith had a recent run-in with Alexis Ohanian, the Reddit co-founder, Serena's other half, her husband. When Ohanian confronted Smith about disrespectful comments regarding his wife, this normally animated host, that's one way of putting it, became surprisingly nervous and suddenly respectful. I mean, were they even in the same studio? You spurred, Stephen A? I think you had marriage advice for me, Ohanian said to Smith. Smith would respond, marriage advice? Oh, no, not me. I ain't qualified. To which Ohanian would respond with, You hadn't been married before, right? Because I give advice to plenty of founders who want to build billion-dollar companies, and the reason I do that is because I build billion-dollar companies. I generally try to stay in my lane. Smith would meekly respond with, "That's right." I don't know if his voice went up during this one, but former NBA player Steven Jackson made this observation.
You get loud and all in your feelings about Braun. When Braun, he talking to a black billionaire, but when you talking to a white billionaire, you humble. And you come back on your show talking real respectful, mild manner. Man, hey, bro, listen, bro. And you dogging the black women. Like, bro, let's stay out of politics and stick to talking about sports you never played. All right? Just stick to doing that, bro. We not gonna vote for you if you talk. I heard you talking about running. You don't do that, bro. We not gonna vote for you. You do not have the same energy for other people, but you got the lot of energy for Braun and black women and not everybody else. Well, stop it.
I like Steven Jackson because he has his own entity that, and he's made many, many millions in basketball, but he doesn't have to sanitize anything. He could just speak his truth. So he just spoke some truth, whether you agree with him or not. Um, Jackson, does Steven Jackson have a point? Because I didn't even occur to me, and I saw that exchange with Serena's husband. Is it disrespectful to call him? I don't think he minds it. He's proud to be her husband. Um, but does Steven Jackson have a point that Stephen A has one version or standard for a black woman like Jasmine Crockett, and another standard for the disrespect of Trump and others? What say you?
No, I mean Stephen A. Smith, spent his life, working really hard to climb up the white man's ladder. You know what I'm saying? So he just used to doing that. You feel me? He been in corporate America. He been having all his bosses been white, and he know who pays him. He know what hand feeds him. It's really not more complicated than that. But also, I mean, yeah, like Steven Jackson said, like, bro, just stick to sports because the stuff that you say, like you're not even really saying nothing like, well, it's a profound idea. Maybe we should try to work with the Republicans. Like, no one's ever tried that before. But I just, yeah, I don't think he would. I hope he doesn't run for president for his own sake because he wouldn't get nowhere. And I mean, ultimately, he really don't know nothing about politics. He really don't. But yeah, no,
Well, in the current
Stephen A.
climate, that
Smith knows who
might fit
puts
him
food
well.
on his table.
Yeah, just shut up and run, or just shut up. I don't know.